everybody, my name is Amanda and I'm currently studying my second year of English Literature at Glasgow University, and today we are going to talk about food, one of my favourite things in this entire world, and specifically food that is budget friendly and healthy. So I'm going to share with you 3 of my favourite recipes for dinner, or you could swap them for lunch and 1 for breakfast even. And the beauty of them is that you can mix them up. You can take this recipe and make it into your own with your own ingredients. So my philosophy when it comes to food is that it has to be quick and easy, because ain't nobody got time to stand in the kitchen for hours cooking, and it has to be delicious, of course, and it has to be somewhat healthy. Especially now when we reach the darker times of the year, it's super important that you take care of your body, because that will increase your overall well-being. So what I'm sharing with you today are the first easy banana pancakes, which are super healthy and super easy to make. They only take like 10 to 15 minutes from start to finish. And the second recipe is a carrot ginger coconut milk soup, which is also super easy, low maintenance, super healthy. And the last recipe is a base recipe for a vegan lentil curry that you can then add to whatever you like, and you can have it with whatever you like. So those are the 3 recipes that I will be sharing with you today. I hope you enjoyed them. If you do, please give this video a thumbs up, and let's get into the recipes. So for the banana pancakes, you're going to need cinnamon, any type of plant milk or regular milk. I prefer the roasted almond, but this is all I had. A banana, 2 eggs, and some oats. And you can switch this up. You can add chocolate, you could add whatever flavour you like. To start with mashing the banana, and I like to mash it really thoroughly, because sometimes it can be more like a bit of egg and banana instead of a mixture, so make sure that there are no chunks, so that the banana is properly mashed. And then just add that into a bowl together with your eggs. And then just mix that up really well to make sure that everything's mixed in properly. And add your oats. You can add however much oats that you like. Because the oats add a bit of texture, I like to add quite a lot, but you could add even more or omit them completely. That's completely up to you. And then I add in a splash of the almond milk and the cinnamon, and I like to add quite a lot of cinnamon, and then just mix that up. Put some oil in a pan. I'm using rapeseed here, and then just pour in your batter, and they will be a bit hard to flip at first, and that's just how it's usually going to be, but just be patient, and once the pan is hot enough they will be quite quickly done, so make sure that you keep an eye on them. You could potentially also make one big pancake in the pan, but I prefer making small ones just because they're easier to flip and easier to work with and all of that, but whatever shape of your pancake you desire. And then I just plate it, and I like to add a bit of Greek yogurt on the side, but again you can add whatever you like. And then I top that off with a bit of honey. And that would be the pancakes done. So for the soup, you're going to need coconut milk, ginger, garlic. The garlic could be omitted, onion, carrots, quite a lot of carrots, and a stock cube, and ground cumin, bay leaves, pepper and salt. But you could here use whatever spices that you have available to you. And I would really recommend getting the ginger and garlic in small jars, because then that's usually cheaper and they'll keep for a longer time. So just start with chopping up your onions, and this does not have to be in any particular way because they're going to be mixed in the end anyway. And then just chop up your carrots, and just make sure that the chunks are even in size. And I like to make them quite small just because the smaller they are, the quicker they boil. Add some oil to a pan, and then the onion and the garlic, and just start frying that up until it's fragrant. You could here omit the garlic. I've done this soup a few times, and this is the first time I used garlic in it, and I think I prefer the garlic actually. Here add in the ginger and the carrots and saute that for a little while. then you add in the spices. Here I add the cumin and the bay leaf. And then you add on the water. Just make sure that you barely cover the carrots because you don't want your soup to be too runny. And then also add in the stock cube and then just give that a little stir. When you've brought this to a boil, you can add approximately 1 cup or 2 deciliters of coconut milk. And our coconut milk was a bit weird, a bit lumpy, but it didn't really matter. But then just let that simmer for about 15 to 20 minutes or until the carrots are soft. After that, you can take a stick blender or pour it into a regular tabletop blender and just blitz that up until it's smooth. Or you can even leave some chunks in there if that's what you prefer. And I would recommend not doing this while it's on the hob because that was a bit hot for me. Then I just like to serve this with some Greek yogurt on top. Feta would also work really nicely, and my flatmate even had some halloumi with her soup, so anything goes. And then I just finish that off with some parsley for presentation, and there you have your finished soup. So the next recipe is going to be a vegan red lentil stew. And my thinking with this recipe is that it's a base to do whatever you want with, basically. So what you need will be an onion, red split lentils, chopped tomatoes, and then whatever spices you like. Here I'm using medium curry powder, mild chili powder, paprika, ground cumin, and garam masala. But you can here use whatever that you have available to you. You could make it more or less spicy with cayenne pepper, for instance, and then I'm gonna have bulgur with this recipe, but you could do brown rice or pasta, white rice, or couscous, or whatever you prefer. So just chop up the onion, and here I prefer to chop it up a bit more carefully just because I'm not a big fan of onion chunks. And then just add that to a pan and saute that until the onion is translucent. Then I add in all the spices. So the paprika, the curry powder, the mild chili powder, cumin, garam masala, and all of that. So when the spices are fragrant, you can add in a tin of chopped tomatoes, and then you refill that tin halfway with water and add that in as well. But if the stew is running a bit dry before the lentils are finished, you can just add more water. And when you've brought that to a boil, you can add the lentils. And here I'm using about half a cup of lentils, or about a deciliter. And then I also decided to add in some tomato puree, just to really amp up that tomato flavor, but that's also optional. Then just let that boil for a while, and you'd want it to have about this consistency because then you know that the lentils are finished and it's not too runny. And then just serve that up with whatever greens you have in your house and your grains or pasta or whatever you chose. And that again is the finished meal. And I added some ketchup as well because ketchup is life. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this somewhat inspirational, and hopefully it will help you to eat somewhat healthier this winter. If you have a favorite recipe, please share in the comment section below, and I shall see you guys in another video, so stay tuned. Bye!